What's happening, Cucumber Squad? Right, man, grandson overdose. So many people have been asking me for grandson, but someone in particular has been begging me to do grandson, and I did promising I would do 3 reactions in a day, which ain't gonna happen today. I apologize, but I will do 3 grandsons either on Sunday or I'll do 3 grandsons on Monday. Right? I will do 3 grandsons. On top of this one, I will do another 3 for you. Right? I might space them out. I might do 1 on like Sunday and then 2 on Monday. You know. Anyway, grandson overdose. I absolutely love grandson. The only issue I have with grandson is that the majority of grandson, when I did it before, keeps getting blocked on YouTube, which I hope is not the case with this one. I think 1 or 2 were fine, but there were other ones that did get blocked. So I hope this one doesn't get blocked. If not, you'll probably be watching this on Instagram. Right, let's rock and roll, man. Grandson, I love this dude. This guy's concepts, this guy's music is super, super fire. Let's go. 91 Americans die from overdoses every day. It's like that every day. Man, that is crazy. Okay. The opioid crisis was such a fucking disgrace in America. The fact that they actually let that happen was fucking crazy. And the fact that you actually think that the fucking the royal family in the UK were involved in it. The royal family was involved in it. You know, the lady with the crown and the blood diamond stuck to it? Yeah, that chick and her family was involved in the whole opioid crisis in the US, right? Pharmaceuticals were paying them and giving them gifts, right? Crazy scandal. Anyway, let me not get into it now. Let's just carry on listening.
I was higher than the nosebleed. I would turn up till my nose bleed.
Over 62,000 people died of overdoses in 2016. What an unnecessary loss of life, right? And that's all for like, and it started with the whole opioid crisis. Started with pharmaceuticals selling like hectic fucking medication over the counter, like Valium, just over the counter. You know what I mean? Painkillers over the counter, like it's nothing, right? Which is like, and the worst part about it is they sold it for cheap, man. They sold it for cheap, and they didn't care. They knew they had a problem on their hands, but they did it anyway because it was all for profit. It's disgusting. Fucking disgusting. Major issue. And you're still to hear like this really get resolved. You're still to hear people going to fucking prison for this. It all got sort of swept under the mat, you know, by the government and Big Pharma and the FDA and the CDC. Everyone just sort of swept it under the mat. Come on, man.
Higher than the nosebleed. I would turn up till my nose bleed. I blacked out in the black car. I was trying to feel like a rock star, but I can't just do one now.
Hey.
I've been way too numb now. I'm living on the run now. Oh, I gotta get out of this town.
Sorry, I've got to go back. I just want to read those things. But I love the fact that he says, I'm trying to live like a rock star, right? But now I'm just numb now, right? None of this shit even feels good anymore. It's just, I'm just numb, right? It's just something I do, right? Which eventually, that's what, like an addiction eventually becomes like starts off as being fun, and then as it progresses, you literally just become numb, and you just need to give that to your body, because if you don't, right, your body almost like seizes in a way, like you'll die if you don't get it. That's the whole withdrawal thing. So drug overdoses, I'm so sorry I'm pausing, I apologize, but I would like to just read this. So drug overdoses are the leading cause of death for Americans under 50. Jesus. Travesty.
On the run now. Oh, I gotta get out of this town somehow. Cause the bad's been slowly getting worse in this fast lane. Living it's a curse, better tell me, what's your life worth? I think it's time for a change.
Yeah, what's his name? I love the fact that he said, tell me what's your life worth? Right? Is it worth these pills? Is it worth this shit? Right? And I love the fact that in the video, also this guy's videos are fire, man. In the video, he's actually got the labels like oxycodone in that label. He's got that showing.
Tell me, what's your life worth? I think it's time.
This dude, isn't he Mitch McConnell? He must be. This must be Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell or... I'm sure this is Mitch McConnell. I don't know. But anyway, carry on.
For a change, 'cause the bad's been slowly getting worse in this fast lane. Living needs a curse, better tell me, what's your life worth? I think it's time for a change, 'cause the drugs don't work anymore, anymore, anymore. No, the drugs don't work anymore, anymore, anymore. No, the drugs don't work. I couldn't find the thrill again.
I love that the drugs don't work anymore. I love the fact that he's also placed over here that radio frequency thing. So basically, like, you're trying to find the radio frequency, which is going like back and forth, and that's kind of like what it feels like. It's just always that noisy haze in your mind because of the drugs. And he's just saying, like, the drugs don't work anymore, man. I've taken so much of this that now it's become a necessity. The drugs don't even give me a kick anymore. It's like, it's not even that kind of thing. And the crazy thing about America as well, which I kind of find is like, they went and fought these like hectic wars, man. Like, they went into like Cuba with Pablo Escobar, man, and they were like the war on drugs. You know what I mean? On Pablo, but in their own country, right? They allowed this opioid epidemic to actually happen. This opioid crisis to actually happen because it was profitable. And I always find that whole thing is like war on drugs, war on this, war. Like, we're always declaring war on shit because somehow that label, the war on something, kind of like it gives like Americans a bit of like, okay, no, they're fighting this, right? But it's all for profitability. It kind of makes it, they always say it as like war on something, as if to like try and make you feel patriotic, even though you're the fucking cause of it. You know what I mean? And I always found that was just, it's such a psychological play from Uncle Sam. You know what I mean? It really is an Uncle Sam type play to sort of make you feel patriotic about the war on drugs, the war on immigrants, the war on this, the war on that. You know what I mean? Just to try and sort of play onto your psychology, saying we're fighting, you know? We're going valiantly and fighting something that we pretty much created, you know? That's one thing I don't really agree with. Let's go.
I couldn't seem to kill the pain. I was living in the moment.
Each day, sorry.
Searching for a little.
Damn it, man. That was.
Couldn't find the thrill again. I couldn't seem to kill the pain. I was living.
Okay, so each day 580 people use heroin for the first time. I didn't even know these. I didn't even know these statistics. I'm assuming these are all correct. I mean, 580 people use it. I mean, and there's really no way there's no way back from fucking heroin. You shoot that shit up and you're hooked on for life. That is heavy. I mean, that pretty much from a drug perspective, you know, that is the top of the top in terms of addiction. So that's crazy, man.
Living in the moment, searching for a little serotonin, but this shit ain't so fun now.
Searching for the serotonin, I like the fact that he's added that in and it really does suit the song, but the serotonin isn't really the problem. It's the dopamine that's the fucking problem. So if you actually look, I actually watched a documentary on cocaine. Now, cocaine, it sounds like a Dragon Ball Z character. So cocaine, when you actually take cocaine, right, it actually releases dopamine. But then what happens, the receptors that are actually supposed to take the dopamine, it blocks them. So it blocks them so that I think you can't actually produce more, or it can't take any more dopamine in. And that's why you go from a super high to complete crashing to like depression, essentially. So like serotonin is also produced by drugs like psilocybin, like, you know, mushrooms and things like that. And that's like not too bad. Like an increase in serotonin isn't that dangerous, but an increase in dopamine, right, which is a far greater kick, is more dangerous, because when you're taking a drug like that, it actually blocks the receptors, and then what happens is that you don't get any more dopamine, and then it has the reverse effect. You go into depressions, which then get people into like, okay, I need another hit, which gets them more and more and more addicted, or they get so depressed that they literally commit suicide. It's a very, 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 very hectic situation.
But this shit ain't so fun now. I can't deal with the
11.5 million people misused prescription opioids in 2016. Fuck me, 11.5 million people. Jesus. This was such a fucking travesty. And I'm telling you, I'm yet to hear how this got resolved. I'm yet to hear who went to prison for all this shit. You know what I mean?
Down. I've been living on the run now. Oh, I gotta get out of this town.
80% of heroin users started by misusing opioids. Of course, this is what I said in the very beginning, right? It was kind of like a gateway drug. They made painkillers cheap. They made painkillers cheap and available. Straight over the counter. You could buy Valium. You could buy these like hectic painkillers that would get you high, right? And then they started off on that. And then what they fucking went and did is they said, oh shit, you know, they cottoned on to all of this and then they stopped it. They completely stopped it. Like, oh no, we can't do, not even weaning off. They just completely stopped selling opioids over the counter after they already created the problem. So what actually happened, it created a whole new market for them to go and get the illegal drugs like heroin, which has now become cheaper, obviously, because the cartels know this. So they've made heroin cheaper, meth cheaper, cocaine cheaper. And these guys went and sourced other drugs, right, to actually get that kick. So they actually started the gateway drug by selling the shit over the counter and then literally ripped the blanket from underneath them and they had to go off and just get their own. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, fucking deal with yourself. And then they literally turned to the harder drugs that eventually killed them off much quicker. It's crazy.
Somehow, 'cause the bad's been slowly getting worse in this fast lane. Living it's a curse, better tell me, what's your life worth? I think it's time for a change. 'Cause the bad's been slowly getting worse in this fast lane. Living it's a curse, better tell me, what's your life worth? I think it's time for a change. 'Cause the drugs don't work anymore. Anymore. Now the drugs don't work anymore.
I love the distorted effect of the song. Like the sound sounds very distorted, but it's actually conceptually brilliant because this, you see, I told you already, man, Grandson's very clever in the way he conceptualizes music and the way he constructs it, right? The whole track is meant to sound distorted because that's how he wants to give you that feel of like drug use. He wants you to give you that feel of like completely cloudiness and everything being distorted and your mind being chaotic and everything just being very archaic in your head. You know what I mean? So it's very clever that he used like that distorted sound effect.
There's no need for anyone to suffer in pain anymore.
That's all these politicians do. They just talk. There's no need for anybody to suffer in pain anymore. We on it. We're gonna deal with it. Yeah, sure. I told you. I don't care. I've said this so many times. I don't care what side. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. If you're on the left or if you're on the right. If you fucking trust a politician, you somehow twisted. Somehow twisted. If you actually can sit there and make a politician your fucking hero, then you're living in fucking nono land.
Anyone to suffer in pain anymore.
Stock markets.
Overdose, 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 overdose. All fun and games till I hit the floor comatose.
See what he said there? It's all fun and games until I hit the fucking floor. And when you hit that floor, right, there's a very, very short sort of space in time. There's a very, very brief window in time as to whether you can survive or not, depending on how quickly the EMTs can get to you. Because if they don't get to you fast enough, it's tickets. And if they can't get you to a hospital fast enough, it's tickets. It's just, you're playing with very, 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 very dangerous shit over here. Let's go. I love how crazy that video is. I mean, he's always so good with the videos. Like, even when I'm watching it, it kind of makes you feel trippy, which I think is very cool. There's been 378,000 overdose-related deaths since 2010, right? Now, when was the song released? Why am I not subscribed to him either? 2008. So this is 2008. 2018, I apologize. So in just 8 years, right, he's obviously taken the statistic within those 8 years, 378,000 overdose-related deaths in 2010. Fuck. Since 2010. Such an unnecessary fucking loss of life. Such an unnecessary loss of life. But people make billions off it, right? And who talks about it? Nobody. Yeah, man, fire. Fire. That track is fucking fire, right? I love the fact that Grandson takes all these types of topics, like he takes real topics and sort of brings light to them in such a nice way. Like he's like the way he conceptualizes everything, the way he does his music, the way he thinks everything out is so well done. Like I really, really think this artist is special. Right? Because it's a true artist. He really goes into the detail of shit and then makes it his own in like a real unique way. So anyway, absolutely love this. I will bring you a lot more of this in the next 2 to 3 days. Love you all, man. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. Catch you on the next one. Peace.